Cambridgeshire and Peterborough Safeguarding Children Boards. Information for children, young people, their parents, carers and families about children's services. How do children's services work in Cambridgeshire and Peterborough?
Your council has a duty to protect all children and young people living in Cambridgeshire or Peterborough and promote their well-being. While they have a key role in protecting children from harm, this is really everyone's responsibility. Anyone who comes into contact with children and families plays a part. This may be your first experience of children's services, and you may not know what to expect. You may have heard people talking about social services and taking children away. You may have experienced agencies in other countries or seen films or TV programs that portray the way they do in a threatening and negative way. The purpose of these films is to ensure you have accurate and balanced information about how children's services works to help you decide what to do and say when working with them. We want to help children get the best for themselves and help parents and carers get the best for their children. There is a separate film about how you can expect to be treated and what to do if you feel this has not happened.
For all of us, the child comes first. Only in specific circumstances can agencies ignore the views of children, young people and their families. There has to be a real risk of significant harm before anyone can go against their views. Even then, there needs to be a court hearing to make any major long-term decision. There are laws in place that have to be followed. Agencies have set ways of working that outline how staff need to approach their job, called procedures. You can read these and tell us if you think they have not been followed properly. All agencies know that the best way of working with children, young people and their families is to work with them, not against them.
If you've been in contact with agencies providing support to families, it's good to know what you can do. You can ask for an interpreter if you do not fully understand the English language. Let someone know in advance that you need help with this. Please make sure you ask questions so that you fully understand what is happening. If you have a meeting with someone, it is a good idea to take written notes and confirm that you understand everything that has been discussed. The meeting notes should be sent to you. If somehow you feel uncomfortable or unhappy, we would want you to tell us about what is bothering you. You have the right to be treated with respect. Do not accept any form of abuse or insult from anyone.
Sometimes families decide for themselves, or in discussion with someone they trust, that they need some help. This might be because the stresses of family life have become too much, and perhaps they are finding it too difficult to cope. Sometimes other people notice the problems before you do, and they might approach you to say they would like to make a referral for you for some help. You may not at this stage be sure whether you want help or not, and may be feeling many different emotions. In Cambridgeshire and Peterborough, there are two main forms of help. Support from early help is provided while children are not at risk, but they do face difficulties that could have a major impact, and families can't manage them on their own. Support from children's social care is provided when a child or young person in the household is at risk of harm. This film tells you how the needs of children and young people are met in Cambridgeshire and Peterborough. There are hundreds of thousands of children and young people in our areas, each with their own experiences and story. How do the councils and their agencies look to get the right services to them at the right time? In both Cambridgeshire and Peterborough, the needs of children and young people are seen on a spectrum that goes from the majority who are thriving without any additional help to those who need protection from harm.
Most children will not need additional help. Some children will need additional help, but it can be provided by the professionals they come into contact with anyway, such as teachers or health visitors. These children are receiving the universal services available to all. For others, more than this is needed, and they will benefit from receiving additional services. These services are known as targeted early help. They deal with needs at an early stage and prevent them becoming too serious. There will be a relatively small number of children, young people and their families who will require specialist intervention to ensure that they are safe from significant harm or longer-term damage to their well-being. In these situations, children's social care involvement will be necessary.
Children and families will have varying needs at different times in their lives. In response to this, varying services will need to become involved at different times, stepping in and out as needed. We want to make sure we are building on the existing network of help that is in place. The overriding hope is that by working together, we can meet the needs of the child in such a way that they no longer require anything but universal services to be safe and to thrive.
Thank you for watching. Additional information: www.cambridgeshire.gov.uk/LSCB, www.safeguardingpeterborough.org.uk/children-board.